Slasher horror. Slasher horror is the classic formula where a killer picks off victims one by one, usually with something sharp. These movies love masks, knives, and characters who think splitting up is a good idea. Think Halloween, Friday the 13th, and A Nightmare on Elm Street. Slashers often start with a group of teenagers in the middle of nowhere, and by the end, only one person survives, usually the final girl. The appeal is simple: suspense, gore, and the thrill of wondering who's next. Also, apparently, horror villains walk slowly but still catch you somehow. Slashers are proof that cardio doesn't save lives, at least not in horror movies. Psychological horror. Psychological horror doesn't rely on jump scares or gore. It gets in your head. The real monster here is your own mind. These movies make you question what's real, what's not, and whether the main character is losing it. Examples: Black Swan, Hereditary, The Babadook. These films are heavy on atmosphere, tension, and symbolism. Instead of a killer outside the house, the danger is inside your brain. Perfect for people who want anxiety as entertainment. Supernatural horror. This is where ghosts, demons, and cursed objects live. If it involves spirits haunting your life for no reason other than being bored in the afterlife, it's supernatural horror. Classics include The Exorcist and Poltergeist. Modern hits like The Conjuring and Insidious keep the trend alive. The formula? Something strange happens. Nobody believes it. Then a priest shows up too late. Bonus rule: if your house is clearly haunted, why does everyone stay? Pack your bags, Karen. Paranormal horror. Yes, it sounds similar to supernatural, but paranormal usually means the horror is captured as if it's real-life evidence, like in Paranormal Activity or Grave Encounters. It thrives on shaky cameras and characters constantly saying, "Did you hear that?" Paranormal horror makes you believe the footage is real, at least until the ghost yeets someone across the room. Monster horror. Monster horror gives us creatures that should not exist. From Dracula and Frankenstein to The Mist and The Descent, these stories tap into the fear of the unknown and things lurking in the dark. The monsters can be anything: vampires, werewolves, or something with too many teeth. The scarier part? There's always someone in the group who thinks they can fight it with a baseball bat. Body horror. Body horror is exactly what it sounds like: terrifying transformations and grotesque changes to the human body. If it makes you uncomfortable about having skin, that's body horror. Movies like The Fly and Tusk show what happens when science goes too far. It's unsettling because it feels personal. Your own body becomes the enemy. So if you enjoy movies that make you question evolution, this is for you. Folk horror. Folk horror usually takes you out of the city and into isolated rural areas, where strange rituals and old traditions rule. Think The Wicker Man or Midsommar. There's always a small community with creepy smiles, chanting weird stuff, and acting like burning people in a giant wooden statue is totally normal. And you, the outsider, are definitely not leaving alive. Found footage. Horror. This style makes you feel like you're watching real discovered tapes, which somehow always survive even when the characters don't. The big names here are The Blair Witch Project and Wreck. Found footage adds realism, but it also gives you an hour of shaky cam and people arguing in the dark. Still, it looks terrifying, at least until you wonder who edited the footage. Survival horror. Here, the horror comes from trying to stay alive against impossible odds. Trapped in a cabin? Stuck in the ocean? Lost in the snow? Welcome to survival horror. Movies like The Shining, The Descent, and Frozen, the horror one, not the Disney one, show how isolation and desperation can drive people mad. Sometimes the monster isn't the creature outside, it's the people inside. Comedy horror. Yes, horror can be funny too. Comedy horror takes scary situations and adds humor, usually with ridiculous characters who make bad decisions on purpose. Examples include Shaun of the Dead, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, and Scary Movie. These films poke fun at horror cliches, like how horror characters never charge their phones. If you like laughing while someone gets chased with a chainsaw, this is your genre. Gothic horror. Gothic horror is all about gloomy castles, stormy nights, and dark secrets. It's where horror meets romance and tragedy. Think Crimson Peak or the original Dracula. The atmosphere is as important as the scares. There's usually a haunted mansion, creepy corridors, and a woman holding a candle for no reason other than aesthetics. Cosmic horror. This is the you are insignificant kind of horror. Cosmic horror, inspired by H.P. Lovecraft, says the universe is full of ancient godlike beings who don't care about humans. Movies like The Mist and The Color Out of Space dive into this hopelessness. The real fear? Knowing you can't fight it. Good luck stabbing an interdimensional entity with a kitchen knife. Tech horror. In the digital age, technology can kill you too. From videotapes in The Ring to killer AI in Megan, tech horror explores our fear of progress. It often starts innocent, like downloading an app, and ends with you screaming at your Wi-Fi before the demon in your smart speaker takes your soul. Home invasion horror. This one hits close to home literally. Movies like The Strangers or Hush show masked intruders terrorizing people in their own houses. It's scary because it feels real. No ghosts, no monsters, just humans being awful. And somehow, the Wi-Fi always dies when you need it most. Zombie horror. Zombie horror deserves its own mention. From Night of the Living Dead to Train to Busan, these films focus on survival during a zombie outbreak. It's never just about zombies, though. It's about how humans react under pressure. Spoiler, they usually turn on each other faster than the undead. You might think we've covered them all, but there's a whole other graveyard of horror waiting, like action horror, sci-fi chills, dark fantasy, and splatter mayhem. We'll drag them into the light in the next part.